And we'll try it and see if it's the world's most amazing. I don't know if I just made them look worse, guys. I don't know. Plating has never been my specialty. Hey everyone, I'm Dave, and today we're making the world's best flautas. Well, at least according to Google. As always on this channel, we look up the world's best recipes, we give them a try, I teach you how to cook them. Sometimes I screw up, but every now and then we get an amazing meal. Actually, pretty often we get an amazing meal. So follow along if you want to cook with me. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Let's get started. So when I search for the world's best flautas, my top result is from foodnetwork.com, and it's actually chicken flautas with avocado cream. That sounds kind of good, so we're gonna do it. We're gonna cook chicken flautas with avocado cream. I've never made a flauta before, but I have eaten them at Mexican restaurants and I always enjoy them, so I think this is gonna be pretty good. Let's get started. Let's start off by running through the ingredients. We're gonna need salt and cumin. We're just gonna go through it really quick. We're gonna need salsa. I bought Tostitos brand. They wanted Cheddar Jack and Monterey Jack mix of cheese, so I found that. Tortilla shells, flour tortillas, some cilantro, which is always good, a lime, clove of garlic, a red onion. I'm not sure if we're using the whole thing, maybe only half of it. And this is a jalapeno, and we need some vegetable oil, some sour cream, toothpicks if you got them, an avocado, some butter, and I think that's pretty much it. Now there's two steps to this recipe. There's the actual, what are they called again? I already forgot. Flautas themselves. And then we also have to make a cream sauce. Now I think I'm gonna make the cream sauce first so that we don't have to worry about it later. When we're actually cooking and frying the flautas, it's gonna be stressful. So I like to just get the sauce done and put it in the fridge and just have it ready to go for when the meal is done. So let's look at that first. Even though in this recipe, and I'll put a link below, it's the fifth step, I think. Fourth step. So we're gonna start with the fourth step, but it's an easy step. So we're gonna get a little bowl and we're gonna make our avocado cream. How about a green bowl for green avocado cream? That's pretty cool. Okay, so for the avocado cream part, we're gonna need the avocado, obviously, the sour cream, my stomach's rumbling, I'm hungry, lime, and the salt. So this is the main, this is coarse. I'm gonna see if I have fine salt. Here's some fine salt. Now, it calls for 4 ounces of sour cream. They had the 14 ounce, they had like a bunch of different sizes. They didn't have a 4 ounce. I'm not sure really how to convert ounces into, this says a tablespoon is half a fluid ounce, but this isn't fluid. So let's see, if we did it that way, we would need 8 tablespoons of sour cream, which would be a half a cup of sour cream. That sounds about right, half a cup, let's do that. That seems like it would be around 4 ounces, maybe, I don't know. Guys, let me know, is this way off? So we're just gonna fill this thing, yeah, that seems good. This is a half a cup, and I'm just filling up the sour cream. And we're gonna call that 4 ounces. If you can actually find a package of sour cream that they sell just 4 ounces, that's probably the easier way to do this. Use a little spatula to make sure we get it all in there. So yeah, I think that's probably 4 ounces. So you put your 4 ounces of sour cream in there, and then you wanna work on the avocado. So for the avocado, we're just gonna cut it open, cut it in half, basically is how I always do it. Twist it, pull it. Sounds like a bop it. Twist it, pull it, bop it. I didn't really do it in half, unfortunately, but you get the idea. We're just trying to get that little seed out of the middle, because that thing's no good. What is that? Is that the seed or the pit? Like if I plant this, will I get an avocado tree? I don't know. My daughter's laughing at me. All right, so we're gonna put the avocado in there, and I'm just gonna squeeze it in basically. Well, maybe peel it. Now it said to get an extra ripe avocado. All of the avocados at my grocery store were super unripe, but I did buy it yesterday, and it's already ripened quite a bit. It's not as ripe as I'd want. To me, extra ripe is like basically squishy, and this is definitely not a squishy avocado, but it's getting there. So we're supposed to mash this avocado, right, into the cream basically, and the softer it is, the easier the mashing should be. Again, mine is not as soft as I want it to be, so it's kind of difficult to mash, but we'll make it happen. We're also gonna do 2 tablespoons of fresh lime juice. Oh man, this is not mashing at all. This is great. It'll mash eventually. I feel like I need one of those potato mashers. I think I have one. Maybe that's what I need to use. Okay, we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of lime juice in there. I'm just gonna cut this lime in half, like so, and then we will just squeeze it into a tablespoon. I still think we need to mash the avocado a little more, but I'll come back to that in a second. Right now I'm trying to get these 2 tablespoons of lime juice. I don't know if I'm gonna get 2 tablespoons of lime juice out of one lime. Maybe I should have bought multiple limes, purchased. Boughten is not a word, I don't think. Bought a lime. Okay, so We might be a little short on lime juice when all is said and done. I might have like the pre-juiced, like actual just lime juice in my fridge. I should go look. I was hoping to do fresh lime juice, but don't think I have enough. Someone told me if you like roll it, I think it's too late because I already cut it in half, but. All right, we're doing great so far. Not enough lime juice and a too hard avocado. All right, so right about now is when I remind all my viewers that I am not a professional cook or chef. I have no chef training. I am just someone who enjoys cooking and, you know, am making videos to help those of you who don't know anything about cooking, or just for the entertainment value of seeing me screw up. Either way, I'm happy you're here. So we're gonna do like a tablespoon of lime juice because that's all we got, and I don't have any of the other stuff. I'll keep trying to squeeze this in here, but I don't think I'm gonna get a whole nother tablespoon out of there. All right, so anyways, mix that up. I think it's okay. See, it's starting to soften up now. I mean, I could probably put some water in there too if I don't feel like the texture is good. But my biggest issue really is that this avocado is just not crushing like I want it to. So if you're gonna make this recipe, really try to get a nice and ripe avocado. I had no choice. This is all they had, and I'm gonna make it work, but I do wish that they had a little bit of a softer avocado. A little more of that. Got a little more. Now the pulp is getting in there. I don't know if we really want lime pulp. All right, so this is our avocado cream. It's not really creamy. Let me look at the picture. Actually, it does kind of look like the picture, so I think we're okay. I'm gonna put it in the fridge. Actually, we should add a little salt too. The recipe does not specify how much salt, so I'm just gonna do like a little dash of salt in there. All right, mix that up one more time, and we're gonna put this in the fridge so we have it at the end. Hopefully it's good, even though it doesn't have quite enough lime, and the avocado is not as ripe as I wanted it to be. I think it'll still taste fine, so I'm not that worried about it. So one thing I forgot to rattle off when I was mentioning the ingredients was the actual chicken. We need chicken. And I honestly thought the recipe would call for me to make the chicken from scratch, but it actually called for a rotisserie chicken from like your local grocery store. So I just went and I bought a whole rotisserie chicken from the grocery store. Grocery store, and we've got that here as well. Look at that nice little chick. It's a beautiful little chick. So we've got our chicken. This is gonna be the internals of the flautas, so it should be pretty good. Now let's get to actually cooking. So this recipe, if you click the link below and check it out, it's really confusingly worded. I read it like 3 times before I started this because I didn't want to mess up. It's got you doing multiple things here. It wants you to preheat your oven to 200, which we'll do in a minute. It wants you to heat your oil because we're gonna fry these flautas. And it also wants you to cook your vegetables up. So as far as order of operations, they have you doing like all these things at once. And I think for me, I'm not gonna heat the oil for the flautas until the vegetables and filling are ready to go. And for me, that's just because I don't want this hot oil on my oven for 30 minutes while I'm preparing everything else. I just think that's gonna be inconvenient, so I'm not gonna do that. Another weird thing is it actually doesn't want the skin on the chicken. So it says skinless chicken. So for the first time ever on my channel, I guess I'm gonna rip the flesh off a dead chicken, which is a first for me. I've never done that before on this channel, but that is what the recipe calls for. We're gonna try to get all the skin off this thing, which honestly is the best part of a chicken, but I'm not gonna argue with the recipe. Look at this, there's like a, what is that, like a string? There's like a string here. So we're gonna kind of just manhandle this chicken, take all the skin off. I'm not looking forward to this, I'll be honest with you, but if it's what the recipe calls for, it's what we're gonna do. And yeah, here we go. I wonder if they sell it like pre-annihilated, you know, with the skin already removed. I feel like Hannibal Lecter or something. Clarice. I haven't seen that movie in so long. I don't even remember. I remember it was less disturbing than I expected, but still very disturbing. All right, so we're just pulling all the skin off the chick here because, I don't know. You know who would like some of this skin though, is my dog, Molly. Molly the dog would love to eat some chicken skin. Now, if you are a big fan of chickens, then look away. This part is not for the faint of heart. It's fairly grotesque to rip the skin off a chicken. You know, in the last thing I recorded, I was talking about my dad's fingers getting cut off. Now I'm ripping skin off chicken. I really am bringing the fire when it comes to cooking videos. No one else is talking about these sorts of things while cooking. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any weird things I say. And you wanna help rip the skin off a chicken?
Yeah.
Okay, wash your hands. All right, so we're gonna get Anna to rip some skin off the chicken while I look at the next steps. Anna's my daughter. Let me wash my hands. You just gotta rip all its flesh off, okay? So Anna's here, she's gonna just pull the chicken skin off, just rip all that skin off the whole thing. It's a little work.
It's cold.
It is cold, it's been in the fridge. And while she does that, I'm gonna prep some of our veggies. We've got a jalapeno here, we've got some cilantro, and the jalapeno is supposed to be diced. So we're gonna cut off the end, and we're gonna slice it in half here. Are you enjoying that, Anna? Mm-hmm. That's a dream come true.
That smells bad.
This is a jalapeno, this is gonna be really spicy. You don't wanna, I take the seeds out because they're the really spicy part. Once you take the seeds out, it's not bad at all. But I know you don't like spicy food, so might as well
I like hot sauce.
it. You like hot sauce? Since when?
I would remember when we played Truth or Dare.
Oh, you played Truth or Dare with the other kids?
And then they'd say eat a hot sauce, but that's not even bad. Hot sauce isn't bad, it's other food.
Like jalapenos?
Yes.
So this is a jalapeno here, and it's actually making my eyes water, which is weird, because normally it's onions that make my eyes water. I don't know why a jalapeno is. I just am very emotional when chopping jalapenos. How's that coming? Have you gotten any skin off yet?
Yes.
All right, so she's de-skinning that. Okay, good. And you can eat the skin if you want, Anna.
No.
No, you're not interested in just eating a chicken skin?
Wait, is he already cooked?
He's already cooked, yeah. So I got him pre-cooked at the grocery store. You could just cook your own chicken, but that would add a lot of time to this recipe. So we're just dicing up the jalapenos. They're gonna go in the filling with the onions and everything else. So hopefully the kids don't think it's too spicy, but I'm gonna follow the recipe exactly because we're trying to find out if this is really the world's best flauta recipe.
I made the little leg move.
Yeah, it's gonna be a naked chicken by the time you're done. Anna just started back in school. Have you eaten the cafeteria food or do you bring your own lunch?
Bring my own food.
Okay, does the cafeteria food look good or disgusting?
Disgusting, because they gave you pizza.
Pizza, I like pizza.
I don't like pizza.
You don't like pizza?
I haven't for a while.
Well,
I like fried dough.
Fried dough is good. Have you guys ever done fried dough? You just take the pizza dough and you put it in a fryer and then put sauce on it after?
It's so good.
It is very good.
And I want some tonight.
And you want some tonight? I don't think I have any pizza dough. I guess I could go get some. Yes. All right, so we've diced up our jalapenos, and now, well, single jalapeno. Now we're going to dice up the cilantro. I know a lot of people hate cilantro. They wrote it in my comments last time when I did the nachos, but I like it. And we need a 1/4 cup, which is probably about this much.
Oh, this smells like nachos.
Doesn't it? You smell that, right? It's like Christmas, sort of, but not quite. Parsley is Christmas. Cilantro is nachos at Christmas. Does it smell like a garden?
A little bit.
It reminds me of that ride in Disney where you like, in Epcot, you know, where you go look at the greenhouses and you're on the boat. Remember that?
No.
Well, you'll have to take my word for it. It's not the one I was thinking of, but Tina just said Soarin', and that is what it smells like. Remember Soarin'?
Oh yeah,
like
Grandma went on that ride with us.
When you're flying in the forest, it smells exactly like that. So, all right, so we got a 1/4 cup of cilantro. We've got a de-skinned chicken in the process.
Which side's the head?
The head was cut off.
I know, but which side would the head be on?
I'll show you in a second.
This side?
The head would go...
Here?
Yeah, that's his neck, and then that's his butt. Yeah.
So I could just go...
No, don't. All right, so we have our cilantro, we have our jalapeno. Up next, we need to get some garlic. And it's just 1 clove in this recipe, so we're gonna chop up a clove of garlic. And then, are we doing a whole onion? We're doing a 1/2 of a small red onion. Unfortunately, the only onions I could find at the grocery store were enormous.
This is like all I could get off the leg.
Yeah, well, that's all right. It's good enough. All right, so 1/2 of a small red onion. I'm just gonna do, I mean, look how big this onion is, guys. It's ginormous. So we're gonna do a little less than half. We're gonna do like 1/3 of it, and hopefully that's okay, because it's just way too much onion according to the recipe. Cut off the ends here, take off the skin. Okay, so what are your thoughts on washing the onion? I know what you're all gonna say. After you take the skin off though, I feel like this is kind of untouched, clean onion. I'll wash it anyways, but I wonder if you really need to. All right, so now we're just gonna poorly chop the onion, not like a pro, like an unpro. What are you doing? Hitting me with chicken legs? Yeah, the chicken probably would have been easier to peel yesterday when it was still fresh. I bought it yesterday and put it in the fridge, and I'm sure it'll still taste fine, but it definitely would have been easier to get the skin off yesterday right after buying it, because it will have just come out of the oven. But I didn't have time to cook it yesterday. I have to do it today. It's gonna be lunch for me. I haven't eaten anything today, really. So it'll be a lunch breakfast.
I ate waffles.
You ate waffle Eggos. She eats more Eggos than Carter's got liver pills. How's that for a reference? For all my, 50s babies that watch. So we're gonna finally dice the onion. Did it say diced? Yeah, it said diced, okay. Thought I was overdoing it, but it did say diced. My dices are never as small as other people's dices, but I do what I can. Is it making your eyes water, Anna?
No.
There's our onion, and then last thing to chop will be this clove of garlic. We'll take the peel the skin off. I always get that wrong. There we go, and we'll dice that up as well. There's a de-skinning coming.
Amazing. He's missing a leg.
Well, you took his leg off.
No, I didn't.
Well, he had a leg when I gave him to you.
Oh. Oops.
Yeah. I need a cayenne pepper. I forgot to get that. That's in the ingredients as well. All right, cayenne pepper was a missing ingredient. Let me take a look at that chicken. What we're gonna do next with the chicken, once we have its skin off, is we're gonna actually pull the chicken itself, the meat, off. We don't want the bones, because the bones aren't very good. I don't know if you've ever tried eating the bones, Anna.
Yes.
But you take the chicken off like that. See, I'm just kind of ripping. This is really grotesque if you love chickens, isn't it? Anna's Aunt Lindsay is a chicken lover. She's got a whole bunch of chickens at her house.
So is Callie.
I don't think they'd like what we're doing to this chick.
Same with Callie.
Okay, so you see, and then, so what we actually need is shredded chicken, which I think we could put this in a bowl and then use forks to shred it. But yeah, this still has to get the skin off. But
that's a bone right there.
This is the chicken breast.
This is the chicken butt.
No, don't rip it in half. Ugh. Inside of chicken's kind of gross. So we're just trying to make sure we don't get any bones. No one wants bones in their dinner or lunch. So are you grossed out? Yeah, it's innards. That's like where it's lungs and heart, and this is the grossest cooking video ever. I'm sorry, guys. I think any vegetarians have now tuned out, don't you?
Oh, maybe. Ew, is this a feather?
No, that's just one of its like wings or something. All right, so we're kind of coming down to the end of the, wait, did you just put it on your own arm?
No,
Gracious me. All right, so this thing is like pretty, yeah, we can try to get some leg off, or meat off the legs and the bones. I mean, I think we've got enough meat here. Yeah, you can take that off. And then we'll put this in a bowl.
Oh, we can't eat the wings?
You can eat the bones.
No, I'm joking.
Let me put this all in a bowl. I think this bowl is gonna be too big, kind of overkill, but it'll do the trick.
Yes.
You got some more meat? All right, so this chicken was $7. So it's not too bad for the amount of meat you get, $7. Not terrible. I remember I used to work at a grocery store. It's called Shaw's Supermarket. They closed down. They were up in Connecticut.
What is this?
But that's a string they were using to hold the legs together.
Oh.
But yeah, at Shaw's Supermarket, I used to get the rotisserie chicken for lunch, or for my break. All right, thank you, Annabelle, for your help destroying that chicken. You can go back to your important Roblox trading that you've been doing. All right, so now that we've got all the chicken, we can kind of shred it. I'm just gonna use a fork to just shred it into pieces. Again, this would have been easier if the chicken was fresh instead of like a day-old chicken, but it should still be fine. I almost feel like my hands might be even easier for this. I don't know. What do you guys do to shred chicken normally? Probably something better than what I'm doing, because this is not working that well. Let me try my hands. Let me compare my hands versus the forks. My hands are way better. Actually, that's good, because I found this little bone too. No one wants bone in their lunch. I'm telling you, it's a bad thing. Maybe you should use your hands so you can double check for bone. I did notice a lot of my cooking videos have been very beefy and very little in the way of chicken. So I think this is good that we're doing a chicken recipe today. I do cook chicken sometimes. I just happen to have done a lot of beef recipes as of late. Although I did a cupcake recipe too. Did you guys see that? World's Best Cupcakes. That was a pretty good one. You should go check it out. Get all the chunks out of here. Anything that's hard, really. You want the right mouth feel on your flautas, you know? Soft, tender chicken wrapped in a tortilla. They don't really make, I don't think they make flautas at Taco Bell. You know, I heard that the most popular item at Taco Bell is their simple chicken quesadilla. Did you know that? I would have thought it would have been something fancier, but no, it's just a chicken quesadilla. I definitely wouldn't think it would be the Mexican pizza, because that thing's gross. But everyone loves it except for me. So maybe I'm crazy, I don't know. All right, so this is pretty shredded, I would say. Hands definitely worked better when it came to shredding the chick. Just trying to get all the big pieces out. Okay, So we got shredded chicken, we got diced garlic, diced cilantro, diced jalapeno, diced onions. I think we're ready to move on to the next step. Okay, so we're gonna head over to the grill or the oven. I'm gonna get a pan and we're gonna get started cooking. Okay, so we're over at the oven now and I've got two dishes on the oven. I've got a skillet here, which we're gonna use to saute our vegetables. And then I've also got a big pot here. I'm gonna put 2 inches of oil in this and heat it up. That's where we're gonna fry the actual flautas when they're ready. And I'm almost about to do that. I'm not gonna do it quite yet, but soon. I will put the oil in it. I'm not gonna turn it on until we get a little further in the process. I've put a tablespoon of butter into the skillet and we want that to kind of melt down, and then we're gonna put our onions in so we can start softening them. All right, so that butter is getting there, and while it works, we'll put the onions in and get them cooking as well. I've set my heat to medium high on this skillet. That way the onions can cook pretty quick. You know, everyone always says onions take like 5 minutes. If you don't have the heat right, it'll take a lot longer. So you gotta make sure you get it kind of hot in there. Okay, and as I look at the recipe, it also wants us to put the jalapeno in now with the onions. So we'll cook up the jalapeno and onion together. I guess they both take similar amount of time to tenderize. So put them in together and we'll mix them up a little. Gotta love all that color. You want some color in your food, right? Unlike a bean burrito or something, which they're okay. Maybe I should cook a bean burrito on here. That'd be interesting. I feel like they're just very one note, not enough going on with a bean burrito. All right, so let's let that saute for like 5 minutes. Now we are gonna need to add a teaspoon of cumin in a minute, so I'm gonna measure that out now while we're waiting for this to saute. So I'll get a little plate here. Ground cumin is what I'm using, this right here. Take my 1 teaspoon, like so. The cumin does have like a lot of that good flavor. That's a little bit of a heaping spoon, but we'll add that to our plate. Maybe it shouldn't be so heaping, but that's okay. And we also have a little cayenne pepper we wanna add, so I'm gonna measure that out as well. So it calls for a ½ teaspoon of cayenne. I'm kind of terrified of putting that much cayenne, so I might go a little bit less. I might do more like 1/4, and we'll put that with the cumin on that plate, and we'll get ready to add that to the actual mix in a few minutes, not yet. Also while we're waiting, I will add this oil to that big pot that we're gonna do the frying in, and I need to get it to about 2 inches in depth. Oil's flying everywhere. I would say that's like probably, I don't know. I might just use it all. I'm just gonna use it all, just so I can make sure. So I use this whole thing. If you used a smaller pot, you wouldn't need to use as much, but I have a lot of surface area to fill. I'll get that started. I'll put it at like a little over medium, more towards medium high, and that oil will start to heat up while we saute these onions. The onions are sauteing quickly. I can already see them starting to go translucent, which is kind of what you're looking for. Translucent is like clear, right? You want them to start getting clear and look softened, feel softened, all that stuff. So the jalapenos and onions coming along well, probably 2 more minutes on these, and then we'll be ready to add some more ingredients. So while we're waiting for that still, let's measure out our salsa, because that's gonna come up here in a minute too. I've got a 1 cup measure, and I'm just gonna pour salsa in, 1 cup of salsa. Maybe that's a dry ingredient measuring cup. Maybe I'll find my liquid one. Yeah, I think I'll do this one instead. And so I'm just gonna pour a cup worth of salsa into this cup. All right, so I got my 1 cup of salsa. I'm gonna put that near my cumin and cayenne plate, and we'll add those all in a minute. These onions are looking really good, actually getting a little crispy, so we're gonna call them done. I had to walk away to try to open the salsa. So I'm gonna turn down the heat a little bit. I mean, this isn't gonna hurt it, but it's definitely a little crispier than I want it, but that's all right. Let's add the garlic now. Remember the minced garlic we had? We're gonna add that to the top here. Now minced garlic cooks pretty quick and it'll become fragrant. We also want to add our cayenne and our cumin at this point. So I've got that plate full, I just poured it on there, and let's just stir that all up together. And in about 2 minutes, this will become very fragrant, is what it says. But I'm gonna tell you, it's already fragrant. And the jalapenos are making me cough or something. I have a spice. So we're just gonna mix that all together so it's all well mixed. Mix it so it's mixed, guys. Brilliant comments of the day from Dave. All right, so this is becoming fragrant. It's been like a minute and a half. In like 30 more seconds, we're gonna add our chicken and our salsa to this as well. And that'll be the filling for our flautas. All right, we got our chicken and our salsa. Let's add in the chicken first, and then the salsa. Now we'll mix that all up. My heat's a little high, I think. I'm gonna bring it down another scotch. We just want to mix this all up, get everything combined. This is going to be our topping. My oven is set to 200. My oil is heating up as well. So we got a bunch going on right now on the whole flauta recipe front. Now that we've got it combined, we can remove it from the heat. So I'm just gonna lift it up and yeah, remove it from the heat because we don't want the chicken or the salsa to burn. Mix it up nice and good here. I don't want to see any white chicken. I want to get it like all a little bit red. Okay, so we're back over here, and the reason we're here is I'm gonna just kind of show you how to prep the flautas. I'm gonna get like a tray or something, maybe a cookie sheet. I don't know, this could work, right? Yeah, that'll work. So we're gonna take a tortilla shell here, and I got the Mission ones. You can get any that you want. Tina asked me to get her the low carb one, so I got her the low carb one. But yeah, so we put it down, and the recipe says to take a heaping spoonful of the chicken mix, which I have right here next to it. So I'll just take a heaping spoonful and set it in the middle, probably a little bit more. So basically we're just filling up the shell with the chicken, like so. And maybe a tiny bit more. I mean, you can kind of do it to I would say. I don't want it too close to the edges because you know, with tacos and stuff, if it flies out the end, it's gonna burn. Oh, I forgot something. Oh, weird. All right, minor intermission on the video here because I really need more limes. Remember, I didn't have enough lime for the cream sauce. I was like 1 lime short. It turns out you also are supposed to add lime to the chicken mixture, which I didn't do yet. And so I need a whole lime for that as well. So I'm gonna go buy 2 limes from the grocery store. I turned off my oil because I didn't want to leave it on the hot and burn down the house. And yeah, so I'll be right back with 2 more limes and we'll go from there. 4 limes, $2, 1, go. Okay, and I'm back. So I had to take the chicken off the tortilla shell and put it back in there because I forgot to add the lime juice. You're supposed to put a whole lime squeezed into this chicken, which is what I'm doing now. I'm squeezing this whole lime into the chicken. And you're also supposed to add the cilantro to this chicken mix. And so I had to go buy another lime. But yeah, so once we have that, we can kind of stir it all together and make it a beautiful mixture of chicken, cilantro, lime, and I'm guessing the cheese? Cilantro, yeah, the cheese needs to go in now too. How much cheese do we need? 1 cup. So I've got my cheese here and we're gonna do a cup of that as well. I'm all over the place. I almost missed all these things. That would have been terrible if I missed all the ingredients. 1 cup. All right, so we got our 1 cup measuring. Now I turned my oil back on. I had turned it off when I went to the store just so I wouldn't burn the house down. It's now heating up again. So let's add the cheese in here too. And now we've got something that's starting to look like a flauta. Kind of good because the chicken cooled, and so now it's not gonna melt the cheese too much or anything. I feel like you could totally get away with adding more than 1 cup of cheese, I'll be honest with you. I feel like there's space for more cheese if you want to. It's at your discretion. All right, so now that we've got all the ingredients in there, we can actually add it to the tortilla shell. Just kidding that first time. That definitely looks a little better, right? And then once we have that all in there, like so, it says to roll the tortilla tightly, securing the tortilla around the filling. And then it says to take a toothpick, like so, and give it one of these, like so. So there's our first flauta. I don't know if it's gonna stay. Let's do a couple more. Let me put them on a plate or something. It says to do 4 at a time, or work in batches of 4. So there's 1. And now we'll do number 2. Not that number 2, guys. Come on, grow up. I know what you were always gonna say in the comments. Roll that up and grab another toothpick. This thing is inconvenient. I should take them out before I do this. There's number 2. I'm just gonna open this. Make my life easier. Now we'll do number 3. Ha, you don't have a potty joke for that one because there is no number 3. Unless you're an alien, then maybe there's a number 3. That one has a little more filling in it. Actually, I kind of like that a little better. Maybe I'll do that much filling in the rest of them. Number 3 and number 4. And so once we have those 4, now this is just gonna be like a rinse and repeat thing. So I'm not gonna show you me making every single flauta. I'm gonna walk you through these 4. We're gonna test it and then I'll do the rest after. So you don't have to watch me cook all bajillion of them. I don't know if it's a bajillion. It's close to a bajillion. Whatever, that's fine. So we've got 4 flautas here. I'm also gonna make some with these carb wraps for my wife, low carb wraps, because she likes those. But yeah, so now that we've got that, we've got our oven heated to 400 degrees, or 200 degrees. The reason for that is if you're making a lot of these for like a family dinner or something, then when you're done making some, you'll want to keep them warm, right? You'll want to keep them warm while you cook the rest. And so to do that, you just put them in the oven at 200 degrees after frying them. And that way you'll have, you know, warm flautas while you're, you know, cooking them all. So if you want to serve it as like a family dinner and have everyone sit around the table and have all the flautas done, you can put them in the oven at 200 degrees to keep them warm. While I was saying that, I added more lime juice to this cream. Remember earlier, I didn't have enough lime juice. I went and bought an extra lime, so I put a little more in there to get it more of a cream consistency. So let's head over to fry these up and see how they come out. I've got my flautas, I've got the oil. Let's see what the oil's temperature is at. We want it to be at 375. Okay, so it looks like we may be way too hot. I'm showing 450 degrees, but I touched the bottom with my thermometer, so that might have skewed the result. Let me just give it a minute to cool down and I'll press it again. I'll put it in again. Yeah, we're too hot. I'm gonna pull this off the heat for a minute. I've had it heating up for quite a while I was prepping that. So let's just wait a minute and then we'll put it back on the heat and start frying them. Okay, so my oil's temperature has dropped to right around 375. I'm now gonna use these metal tongs and I'm gonna put the flautas in the oil. I think I may only do 2 at a time, actually. Now I'm setting up a plate with some paper towels on it, and that's what we'll put the flautas on once they're done. I really want them to get brown all the way to the top, and it looks like they're floating, which is inconvenient. So I'm just gonna hold them down a little bit. Get down there, flautas. I mean, I guess I could turn them over. Ugh. Yeah, like that. Kind of hold them in the oil a little bit. They're browning up nice and quick. Probably only a couple more seconds. I think it's still a little warm. It was like 400 degrees. Technically it calls for 375, so that's all right though. Okay, I'm gonna pull these out. Oop, it's got some crispy chicken there, huh? Pull this one out. Wow, they really puffed up nicely. So let's take a look at it. There we go. That's what we're working with. I think that's the cheese at the end that like crisped up this part. They look pretty good though. They're very fluffy, very fluffy. I would say based on the pictures, I think that you're supposed to use a smaller tortilla shell. I think my tortilla shells might be a little bit larger than they thought I would use. Again, I'm just putting in 2 more. We're gonna do the same thing again and just let them cook through. Oh, it's popping at me. Whew. Pop, pop. And see what happens too, right? The oil was too hot, but now that it's like cooking something, the oil's gonna actually lose some temperature pretty quick. So you might wanna go ahead and crank up the heat a little after the fact. I'm actually really excited about trying these. They look delicious. I think I'm gonna do like 20 more seconds. Now I'll go ahead and put these 2 that are already done into the oven on the cookie sheet that I've got in there at 200 degrees. And that'll just keep it warm. And I did burn my finger a little bit, but that happens when you're frying. You have to be prepared for that. I think bigger tongs would be in order. All right, this one I'm calling done. This one's a little bit better looking. And this one we'll call done. Looks delicious. These are humongous for sure. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and cook the rest of them because I've got them all already here. 1 and 2. They cook really quick, guys. I'm not even speeding this footage up. They just cook that fast. I'm gonna flip that one all the way over. And you can flip them, but see, look, they wanna flip back over. So that's the only thing I'm struggling with is the flipping. I have a bigger spatula thingy, but this one is risky, so I need to be careful with it. There we go. Yeah, okay, whatever. It doesn't want to go that direction. All right, this one looks pretty done to me, nice and brown. Now I'm like tilting it over to kind of spill some of the oil out. I don't want there to be a bunch of oil inside the flauta. And take that one out. I guess we could have done a little more oil, but it wouldn't really matter because it's floating regardless. So can't do much about the floating. They're just very puffy tortilla shells. And again, I'll put these ones in the oven with the other ones that are waiting to be consumed, kind of holding it down by the toothpick. There we go, that's working. I want to try to get them, you know, cooked all the way around, so they're crispy. You know, you want a crispy flauta. We're about to find out if they're the world's best flautas. I've had some delicious flautas at restaurants, so it'd be interesting to see how these ones compare. All right, and last but not least, we're gonna do these ones on a low carb wrap for my wife and put them in there. That looks pretty good. Okay guys, so here are the flautas that I had sitting in the oven. It looks like we had a yield of 1, 2, I think 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 flautas. They look pretty good, for sure. We could take the toothpicks out, I guess. Let's see if they come apart if you take the toothpick out. No, they don't. Okay, cool. So we'll take the toothpicks out. And then we've got the cream. All right, and so we've got this cilantro cream that we'll put on it as well. Should we put it on all of them? I think so. I mean, it's an avocado cream. Put it on there, and then we'll try it and see if it's the world's most amazing. I don't know if I just made them look worse, guys. I don't know. Plating has never been my specialty, that's for sure. Whatever, good enough. You know, maybe we'll like separate them out a little and then they won't look as ridiculous. All right, whatever. We're calling that good and beautiful. We'll throw a little cilantro on there to beautify it even more. All right, guys, time to try the world's best flautas. I'm just gonna grab one here and we're gonna try it. Let me make sure I get some of that cream on there because that's like half the recipe. I'll spread it out like that. World's best flautas going in. Very flaky and crispy. Whew. These are really good. Okay, so these are definitely instantly gonna give you my review. Hold on, let me wipe myself off. These are significantly better than any flauta I've had at a restaurant. Like, it's not even close. There's no comparison. I've never had a homemade flauta, and I'm not that surprised that the homemade one would be way better than the restaurant version. I'd give it a 10 out of 10. Absolutely love it. I got some salsa I might dip it in. Really excited about it. Try this one, guys. Definitely try this one. Go grab those ingredients. Try it yourself. You're gonna be really excited about it. It's really good. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe. We'll see you next time.